What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa coming back at you with another video today. And before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. So comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, so I could get back to you with the response. Now, as you can see from the looks of the thumbnail, title, and screen, yes, we are back with the face cams, but today I'm going to be breaking down one of the better, and I'm going to say it, bro, one of the best small forwards that you can make right now in NBA 2K26 on next gen. This is that mix of a slasher who can still be a point forward, hold his own defensively, and I'm telling you, all the offense, man, this build is going to be a beast. Now, this build is going to be able to get everything from contact dunks, the best dribble animations, as you can see from the screen, man. I played a few games with this one, about 10. And I'm telling y'all, the dribbling feels so much more smoother on this. I spent about an hour to an hour and a half really making this build, breaking it down, going into which, max +1 and +2s that I would use, the build specialization, and also which takeovers that I would go with and where I would apply my cap breakers. I can say this is definitely that mix of being a hybrid lockdown defender. And I love these strengths, bro. An explosive dunker stops and fires with ease. Tough physical wing, and the weakness lets wing sneak in freely after shots. Now, y'all see from the gameplay, I don't struggle at all when it comes towards this build defensively. The offense is a monster of its own, and this is definitely one of the reasons why I do got to go ahead and bring this one to y'all, because I think it's going to be one of the safer. And you know what? You can even count on using cap breakers down the road with this build to get it even better. And look at that #1 comparison of LeBron James, Glenn Robinson, and Julius Erving. Y'all know that you are in store for a great one today, and some of the go-to badges are going to be Strong Handle and Hall of Fame, Aerial Wizard, Off-Ball Pest, and it only gets better from here. So before we move any further, if it was your first time coming pro, be sure to hit that sub button if you know. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. Now let's get into the breakdown of this build today. So this is actually the second build that we've created on this channel, and we're going to start out by putting this one under that small forward position. When it comes toward that height, let's go with 6'9", 245 pounds when it comes towards that weight. And then as far as for that wingspan, I want to be able to play some defense, so we got to go with 7'1". Now, this is the perfect setup to move forward with, and the first area that I'm diving into is going to be these physicals, and that always gives you a key idea with what this build is actually going to be able to do gameplay-wise. So let's go ahead and put that speed all the way up to a 70. I would not recommend going lower than any of these numbers on this specific build that I'm bringing to y'all today. Now, when it comes towards that agility, let's go with a 76. 85 when it comes towards that ball handle, so you are definitely going to be able to be a brick wall against these, offensive players trying to dribble too much. And as far as when it comes towards that vertical, I want to be athletic, bro, so let's go with an 80. So 70 speed, 76 agility, 85 strength, 80 vertical. You're all set to go. Now, let's just break down these attributes really quick. So as far as when it comes towards the finishing, the close shot, let's go with a 75. 80 when it comes towards that driving layup. Moving into that driving dunk, I'm going to go with a 92. And my first cap breaker, bro, I'm going to go ahead and apply it towards this area. That way I can save some attributes, get the most bang for my buck. And on top of that, when it comes towards that standing dunk, bro, I really want to be able to not be limited when it comes towards what I can do offensively. And that especially goes for in the post. So I want to be able to get rise up on silver. And as you can see, when it comes towards this post control, we're going to put this all the way up to a 79. So already shaping up to be a pretty solid build on the offensive end. The shooting only continues to get better. Now let's run through it. Let's go with an 85 when it comes towards that mid-range shot. If you do want to go ahead and try to equip Kevin Durant go-to shot, you can use 2 extra cap breakers to get this to an 87. That'll give you his animation. As far as for that three-pointer, I need to have limitless range at least on the bronze tier. So let's go with an 83. And then just to be safe and take this build into just about any 5s game mode, put that free throw up to a 70, and we're going to be rocking from here. Now, when it comes towards that pass accuracy, let's go up to a 76. Moving into the ball handle, we're going to go up to a 77, and all of these animations are very specific when it comes towards matching the rating requirement. Even when it comes towards that speed with the ball, put this all the way up to a 68. And that's going to allow you to get lightning launch on the bronze tier. So this is what we will be looking like on the offensive side. I'm telling y'all, there are no weaknesses here. The defense, we are almost done. So as far as when it comes towards that interior, let's put this all the way up to a 65. 84 when it comes towards that perimeter defense. And do keep in mind, I'm going to use 1 cap breaker towards this build, just so that way we can get on-ball menace on a higher tier. And I'm going to get into everything right now in a moment. As far as when it comes towards that steal, put this all the way up to a 79 so we can get glove and interceptor on the silver tier. And let's go with a 74 when it comes towards that block today. Moving into the rebounding, let's go with a 60 when it comes towards that offensive, 54 for the defensive, and this is what this build is going to be looking like today. Now, as you can see, a whole lot of things to break down, especially with which cap breakers you want to use. So first, the cap breakers, let's get into that. I would use one cap breaker, put towards my perimeter defense. That way you can actually get on-ball menace upgraded to silver. Now from there, I would max +1 or +2 this to Hall of Fame or gold. It's all going to come down to your preference. Now, as far as when it comes towards the actual shooting, remember I mentioned the 2 cap breakers from the shooting if you wanted to get Kevin Durant go-to jump shot. Now, in this video, in the gameplay that you are seeing, I am not using his go-to shot, so necessarily, it's not even needed, bro, depending on your play style. But it's all going to come down to, if you feel like you can't live without it, go ahead and use those cap breakers. If you can, leave it at an 85 for that mid-range shot. The three-pointer, this is going to be key because I really want to specialize in shooting on this archetype. So that means I'm going to get a +1 and a +2 put towards my shooting. I'm going to boost up my limitless range. I got to go ahead and say I would put this on gold. And then as far as when it comes towards Deadeye, you can boost this with a +1 to gold as well. Or even if you want to go to Hall of Fame, that's another solid option. But look, in order to get the better and best dunk packages as well as posterizer on gold, what you want to go ahead and do is use one cap breaker towards that dropping dunk. And like I mentioned, it's going to save a lot of attributes in other areas. But use one cap breaker towards this area, you'll be able to get gold posterizer. And if you use a badge max +2 towards posterizer, you'll be able to get it on legend, bro. Just something to throw out there. And I think truly, with the way that I play, bro, in about only 10 games, finishing is super overpowered, man. Especially the dropping dunk itself. Now the dribbling you're seeing, everything is specifically catered to how I wanted to play and go by my own play style. I wanted to be able to defend, definitely, but I did not want to sacrifice any dribbling. I did a little bit on the pass accuracy, but as far as for being a scorer offensively, this build can pretty much do it all. You have the contact dunks, you remember, gold posterizer to go with it. You know, even when it comes towards some of these badges like Silver Deadeye, you got Physical Finisher, Break Starter, Interceptor. You even can go ahead and upgrade a Rebound Chaser to Silver or Gold. There's so many different options that you can run with today, but I truly think that this is going to be an archetype that not only is it going to be usable throughout the year, but because we are 6'9", man, we get a lot of those. From previous years, these were guard dribble moves, but for example, I love to use Michael Jordan breakdown combo and combo size up. That's what you're seeing in a lot of this gameplay. But with the dunk packages to go with it, I truly feel as though these are going to be the best thresholds to work with as far as free animations, takeovers, badges, all of that good stuff. And remember, you can always upgrade any of these defensive badges to your own liking as well. I definitely would say I want to upgrade at least the movable enforcer. Definitely would upgrade Challenger at least 1 tier. For on-ball menace, once we get that cap breaker, I would boost this to Hall of Fame. Now, when it comes towards tier 1, we already talked about possibly getting posterizer on legend. Deadeye, we're going to move this up to gold, and same thing when it comes towards limitless range. Now, we still have a few extra things to talk about. I don't want to keep y'all here too long, but as far as when it comes towards these takeovers, let me show y'all in which I think is going to be the best one to pick. Now, the one takeover that I would pick is going to be 3 and D. You get a +5 put towards your three-pointer, a +6 put towards your mid-range shot, and a +5 put towards that perimeter defense. And look, you can break ankles on this build if you do pick this takeover, and that's a big bonus to me personally, bro. Let me know what y'all think about this one down below. But we also get other ones like at the rim, attacking. You know, it's all going to come down to your preference. I even like Clinic, especially getting that boost to the driving layup. It's all going to come down to what you feel most comfortable with. Even if you wanted to go with a, let's say, finishing takeover, that's another solid option because of the attributes that we have. For example, the +5 put towards that standing dunk would raise it to an 86. The close shot, 81. There's so much versatility with this build that, truthfully, I feel like there's no wrong decision when it comes towards which takeover that you do decide to pick. Even if you want it to be more of a point forward, you can even choose offensive artist, still maintain that sharpshooting takeover, and get a boost on that pass accuracy to get it past an 80. You know, I love the fact that not only can this build be and play as a big man, but I truly think that this is going to be an archetype that is going to be able to lock up those 6'8" guards. Now, let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made this build correctly. And as you can see, this is going to be the physical, mid-range, high-flyer build in NBA 2K26 on next gen. And I love these strengths: an explosive dunker, the fact that this only has one weakness of letting wings sneak freely in after shots. I guarantee y'all seen from the defense, there are no issues with this build whatsoever on that defensive side. And truthfully, bro, the offense, in my opinion, this is a demigod build, bro. Can do everything from finish, shoot, be a playmaker. Y'all can definitely see that. But on top of this all, man, you're going to be able to be one of the best defenders on the floor at all times. And that's why I had to go ahead and make this build at the height of 6'9". You get the best dribble animations at the maximum. And then on top of that, bro, the badges to go with it. Once you max them out with a +1 and +2, completely going to change the way that we look at this build today. And this is going to be my #1 build starting out NBA 2K26. Let me know what y'all think about it down below. And if there's any types of changes, recommendations that you would make, I want to know that as well, man. So once again, thank every single one of y'all for your support. I got another video coming for y'all tomorrow. And before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming, bro, be sure to hit that sub button if you know. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.